a while. So I'm super excited to be back on here, and not just to chat with you guys. I'm actually on here to work with you guys. And so we are going to make a wreath, and I think I'm a few minutes early. So we're going to kind of just hang out for just a minute. But I want to let you know that I do have my cute little sidekick Nugget here. She is ever so patiently watching all of the pipe cleaners. And so today we're going to be making a fall wreath that I'm super excited about because it is the first day of fall. And so I have a cute little wreath that we're going to be making here. Of course, I'll point the camera down and show you what we're making. It's going to be a simple style, the one that I've been doing for a few times. Hey, girl. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see you on here, Fallon. And thank you for joining. So yes, so today is the first day of fall, and I was like, okay, I have not crafted in quite some time. I do need to make a fall wreath. This one is going to be so simple. And like I said, I got my little Nugget right there. She's like a circus cat, and she sits on the stool. She's ever so patient. But so yeah, so we're gonna make a fall wreath. We're gonna use the little hi, my friend Michelle. Oh my goodness, hello. I hope you are doing well. And so we're gonna do the woodland cruffle. I always get that word, like the method that we're about to do, but it's like the scrunch method. So it's super easy. You do need to cut the mesh. So, and you don't have to worry about getting it exactly right. Because nobody's going to know that you cut one 12 inches and one 15 inches. Nobody's really going to be able to tell. We have a couple of things that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use my hot glue gun today, so we're not going to add any trinkets, but we are going to do ribbon. And I think maybe mesh tubing. I don't know. I think it might be a bit too much. We will see. But I bought this last year. Story of my life. This little cute fall sign from Three Birds Nest. Because there's a clothing store called Three Birds Nest that I love, and there's Three Birds Nest Co. on Etsy, and I love their signs for wreath making. Oh, hey, Sarah. Hi, Deborah. Oh my gosh, I missed all of you guys so much too. So yeah, so I have this sign here. Now I know you can order like wreath signs on like the Wreath Shop or other wreath making websites. However, I love supporting small businesses, and this is where you can go to get almost anything. And they do a lot of custom sizes. So where on the Wreath Shop, you know, you got like, it's just like one size and that's it. Here you can do a square or go to a circle, and then you can do different sizes, hole placement, the whole thing. So I really love, if I can make sure, the Three Birds Nest Co. And that's what their little emblem will look like when you go onto Etsy. And just check them out. Even if you're not gonna buy from them, just check them out, because you might find something that you like. And they have wreath signs all year long. That's what they specialize in, and I love them. And today we are doing this. It says, welcome fall. I'm all about it. I am ready for the cool weather and all of the fun things that go along with the new season. So today we are going to be using a 12-inch, and I've already prepped it, and I'll explain everything. We are using a 12-inch wreath frame that I bought from Michael's. This is not from the dollar store. This is from Michael's. And you can tell the difference, and this is for people that have never made a wreath and that are wanting to learn how to make one and that are watching or whatnot. You can tell the difference from the ones from the dollar store. Like this one has a more pronounced, I forget all the terminology. I'm just gonna call it bump. So like the more pronounced bump, you can tell like where the crossbars are. It's a little different. Dollar store wreath frames will work just as well as a Michael's one. But I just wanted to let you know that this is 12 inches. Got it from Michael's. They usually range about $3 to $4. They don't go on sale too often, so if you see them on sale, grab them up. Around the holidays, especially now, they tend to go on sale, so definitely check that out. And what I did, I used gold pipe cleaners because we're going to be using this kind of mesh, and I placed 12 on here. I placed the 12. I started at the first row right here on the crossbar, and I went to every crossbar, and there's 6, and put a pipe cleaner. Why I chose this? Just because. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no specific pattern. It's just what I wanted to do. So I know I had these kind of questions when I would see pipe cleaners on a wreath. Why did you do it? Because. That's my answer, because. So feel free to place your pipe cleaners anywhere you want onto the wreath. Because of the style that we're going to be doing, you can kind of get away with it just putting it randomly on here because it's all going to squish together and come and look really nice. Then what I did is in the center between the 2 crossbars on the middle row, I went around, and just so you guys know, I went around the 2 bars, okay? So I also did that in the center right here. So that means I have a total of 12 pipe cleaners on here. And what I did is I left them long because we're going to add ribbon into these. Normally you can make your pipe cleaners a lot smaller, but because we're going to be adding things into our pipe cleaners, I wanted to go ahead and keep them long. I buy these at the dollar store. So yeah, so they're long. We're going to add to them. And let's go ahead and point the camera down. I have to manually move everything just so y'all know. All right, so I am working with a 10-inch by 30-inch roll. The 10 inch is more or less what matters right now. And I cut them into kind of squares because they're 10, and then I cut them 12 inches in length. All right, and again, why I cut them in 12 inches? Because I wanted to. There's no rhyme or reason. Again, if you wanted to cut them a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter, don't go too much shorter. Don't go shorter than 10 inches. But I just decided, let's do 12. So we have 12 inches right here. You need to cut 12 that are going to go onto your wire frame. I went ahead and cut 15 because I just got carried away. So don't even worry about it. And then I do have some ribbon that I grabbed from the Dollar Tree. And I just have like the little sheer with the pumpkins on it right here. And then the give thanks one. And I do have some mesh tubing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it, but you know me, I love to add trinkets to my wreath, but I don't want to overpower this one. So now that we have the wreath frame prepped, and you guys can feel free to ask questions while I'm doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and lay this out. And what I like to do is I like to tuck the edges just a little tiny bit, just so they aren't really showing too much. And then just scrunch. And then when you get to the other edge, just kind of tuck it underneath. And then like this. So then you get a bow. Okay. And I always call this the scrunch method. There's an actual name. It's like the woodland crupple, something like that. Somebody will say it on here. That way, if you ever watch a video, and you see that word, you'll be like, oh, I know exactly what that is because Sandra did it one time and she called it something else. So as you can see, this is a pretty easy method to do. You can't mess up. You cannot mess up on the scrunch. This is very beginner friendly. Again, if you cut a piece and you do 12 inches and then one's like 13 inches and then maybe one's 11, who knows? It's okay. I want people to understand that this is very beginner friendly. Anybody can do this. Super simple. And then you're going to place it on here. At some point, we're going to arrange our bows on here to either go up or down or just kind of like zigzag. But you don't have to worry about that just yet until you get a few more pieces on. All right, so we're going to fold that. And we're just going to repeat this process 12 times. And like I said, I have 15 pieces, so I might throw in those 3 extra pieces. We'll see. I'm very particular about like even everything, so throwing in the 3 might be a little bit much for my brain to handle. But yeah, so here we go. And if you get done with this wreath and you go all the way around and you're like, you know what, it's not poofy enough, I don't like how thin it is, like you want more, feel free to add more mesh to it. There's no wrong way to do this. That's what I want you guys to know. So I'm going to show you. If you get done with this wreath and you're like, you know what, because all mesh is not the same. So as you can see, this mesh, it's kind of see-through-y. There's some that are really, really thin, like that you can really see through. There are some mesh or some mesh, or you can do like burlap, which is really thick and it'll give you a nice big full wreath. But if you are doing this and you have a really thin mesh, as you can see, you can kind of see through here right now. You're like, you know what? I just want to add more. Grab yourself a pipe cleaner, throw on an extra one, cut some more mesh and add to it. Super easy to do. Nothing's permanent. We're not using glue. So everything is fixable. And you can always, you know, add in a new color if you want. Like if you get done with it and you're like, you know what, this really needs a pop of whatever, go for it. So we're going to do this. And like I said, I know that this material is kind of thin. It's a little see-through-ish, but we're not quite done yet. And we're going to add ribbon and we're going to have a sign. So I'm not going to add any more pipe cleaners just yet until I'm completely done. So, and this is for me, this is a fast wreath to make. This is great, like if you were trying to come up with something for, you know, a gift for a party or whatever. I love homemade gifts, and so this would be a great present. And it's very festive. I love the shiny colors in this mesh. Glitter is my favorite color, so yeah, this really suits my fancy. And how are you guys? I know everywhere is, I mean, it's the first day of fall, or tomorrow, it's fall equinox or something like that. But I know in some places it's still hot. It's going to be 94 here this weekend. So even though it's fall, we did have a bit of fall last week. It's still, summer is still not finished saying goodbye here. So I can't wait for the seasons to actually, or to fall, for fall to actually get going. I am ready for it to be cold. All right, so see how fast this wreath comes together? And granted, I have been doing this for a while, so please don't go based off how fast I did this. And you can see I'm like, you know, glancing back and forth with the camera and doing this. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Doing it this fast is perfect to me. So, okay. So here it is. All right. And see how the gold pipe cleaner just kind of makes it pop just a little bit? We will be cutting them down. But again, it is see-through-ish. It's not as full as I would want it. So you know what? Here's what we can do. We are going to add more. And yeah, I'm going to add a couple more. I'm just going to flip it over first to make sure that I got every single pipe cleaner, because I am famous for like skipping a pipe cleaner and not getting the mesh in there. But I can see that I've already got it all together, or got all of it in there. And I'm just going to add it to that middle. I'm just going to scooch this pipe cleaner over. And then add this right here. And this is how easy it is to fix a wreath that you're just kind of like, I don't know. This is how easy it is. And then I already have pieces cut. So I'm just going to flip that. Scrunch it up. Problem solved. There we go. There we go. Already way better. Love it. And then you can adjust your bows to go in whatever direction. And just to make sure that I'm getting in the right spot. Just gonna flip it over, kind of scooch this one down. I got these on here pretty good. Oh, I saw somebody just said something, but I didn't see. I'll check that in just a second. All right, so then, and mesh is pretty durable, so you can kind of manhandle this a little bit. And then scrunch up another piece. Throw it on there. There we go. And now you're really starting to see it poof up. Like, see how poofy this side is? Can you, well, it doesn't really show up on camera too well, but this side is now really nice and poofy as compared to this side. And then flip it over, 2 right there. So I'm gonna throw 1 right here. And I like to show people like how to, these are not mistakes. I don't ever like calling it a mistake because there was nothing wrong with this, but like how to make your wreath the way you like it. You know, even if it has to be halfway through like what I just did, I didn't have all the pipe cleaners on that I eventually am going to want. But I want you to see that there is ways to, I guess you can just say fix your problems, but it's not a problem. But you know what I mean. All right. There we go. Oh, you know what I just thought of? I want some like glittery, like these like styrofoam balls that you can get at the dollar store. I just glanced over there and I'm like, oh, I have some. That's going to look so cute on here. Oh. Oh my gosh, that's so cool that you're teaching a wreath class. Oh my gosh, I know. I've thought about doing this in like in front of people, like live, but I just haven't done it quite yet. Good luck with your wreath class. I know you're going to kill it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my pipe cleaners on, and then I'm going to cut 3 more pieces of my mesh. All right. Again, I'm thinking I should probably heat up my hot glue gun if I'm going to add it. Oh, Nugget just joined us. All right, and then, okay, so 1 more piece right here, and then we're done with adding, and then we're just going to cut our mesh. All right. Okay, I'm just kind of manhandling this because I'm adding the pipe cleaner. All right, so I'm just going to throw that to the side. And I want to let y'all know, I use this roller cutter. I got it from the Dollar Tree, just in case you've ever seen those and you're like, I wonder if those work really well. I am obsessed with these. When I see them at my local Dollar Tree, I grab a few of them just because they work really well. And I've bought some expensive ones that eventually kind of get a little funky. But these, absolutely love. And you could replace the blade because it does come apart, just so you know. But you see them, you don't always have to buy expensive when it comes to crafting, because some of the things that you find like at the Dollar Tree are like the greatest treasures ever. So, all right, let's bring this back. All right, we're gonna scrunch. No. She thought I set it there for her. I don't know if you can see her at the bottom of the screen trying to grab onto my wreath. All right, there's one. All right, I can't wait to show you what a difference that made and how easy it was to add on. All right, let's just grab this one right here. And then just fluff up as you go. And then we have 1 more piece. like so. And it's, let me just find that piece too. This is why I love flipping it upside down, because this allows me to find my pipe cleaners a lot easier when I'm doing like this. All right, there we go. All right. So that is so much better. Look at how thick, and again, the camera is not doing it justice, but it's really nice and pretty, really nice and full. I love it. I feel good about it. And now we are going to add, I'm like, should I add the sign first, then the ribbon? But we're gonna go ahead and add ribbon right now. And I wanna just double check. This is how I measure for ribbon. I know there's probably a way, like more professional way to do it. This is how I do it. We're going to see. All right, I'm just gonna kind of measure it like so. And this is how I've always done it, just in case you guys are wondering. All right, that works. Then I'm gonna cut my one. All right, put that in here. And again, I got this from the Dollar Tree. So I want to do 6 pieces of ribbon, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do 3. Should I double these up? Yep, we're gonna double these up. All right, so we're gonna do 6 pieces of each ribbon, and here we go. And I'll tell you, this is, just so you guys know, this is 14 inches. I do have one of those little like board things where it makes it so much easier to measure and cut your ribbon, but it's across the room right now and I don't feel like grabbing it. So 1, 2, 3. All right, and we're just gonna do this right here. I'm gonna show you what this is gonna look like. It's gonna be so adorable. And again, like I said, Dollar Tree. So there we go. So now I'm going to put the sheer one on top. We're gonna do, I used to call these ducktails, but apparently these are dove's tails when you make it all fancy like that. So there you go. Learn something new every day. But I don't have all of the like correct terminology for wreath making, but at least I have fun. All right, so you're gonna fold it in half like so, and then this is what it's gonna look like. I'm just gonna kind of pinch it together right here. Find a open pipe cleaner and go ahead and tie it in. Now give it a good couple of twists, and then what you can do after that is you can separate it, and then I kind of like to, you know, make it fold over a little bit like so. There we go. Sometimes the little ends have a mind of its own, but don't worry about it. It's fine. There you go. That is gonna look so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right, let's get to cutting the ribbon. We can cut both of them at the same time. Let me just make sure I have one that's my my guide. I know I'm making this look really complicated, but I'm just gonna throw this down there. And I try to be more exact when it comes to the measuring of my ribbon, but I'll tell you what, I still am like, if it's a, you know, half an inch off or whatever, again, I know it's not the best way to do it, but I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to that. All right, there we go. I know somebody's probably cringing right now as they watch me cut this. All right, so what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just need a few more of the pumpkins. All right. 1, 2, 3. I did say 6. Okay, because I already have one on there. That's why I said 5. 3. Alrighty, guys. Now we can do this. And you can go ahead and leave it with just ribbon on here. You don't have to add anything extra. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know. Once I get the ribbon on and once I get the little metal sign on, I don't want it to be too gaudy, even though that's like my thing when it comes to holiday wreaths. But we'll see what happens. I might have to save the mesh tube for another wreath. All right. And I'm just going to kind of, let's see what this is on. Okay. I'm trying to space this out as evenly as possible. And sometimes it doesn't always work, and then you have to go back in and undo them. But, you know, you can do 5 cuts. Some people, they only like to do the odd numbers, but I'm doing 6. And let's just find another one right here. Maybe we're doing 5. I'm like, I don't know if I'll have enough room for 6. Joke's on me. Okay. And hopefully I am well enough next week. I really can't wait to get on a roll of like just doing a bunch of fall crafts. And since I'm going to be home quite often, even like something small, I'm ready for it. I was going through my holiday decor today and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm so ready to create. So hopefully we can do that. All right. You know what? Let's do that one. All right. So, yeah, joke's on me. We're doing 5 ribbons, not 6. And I save all of my ribbon that I use, just like how people have like leftover material when they're like cutting fabric and whatnot, and then they can make a really cool quilt out of all of the leftover pieces. I like to do that with not only my mesh, but with my ribbon as well. You can come up with something so adorable with just like all of your leftover stuff. So never throw it away. I save everything, not in a hoarderish way, but like I save it because you never know what you can make with it. Like, especially like one of those, like I said, just blended kind of crafts. So I'm going to put this one here and I'm going to move this one down just a little bit. And this is why we were keeping our pipe cleaners long on all of it, because you never know what you're going to add. All right, so we're just going to move this one over to kind of have like the right spacing, I guess you can say. There it is. And now I'm going to go back through and pull apart the ribbon and just kind of make it look cutesy like so. And then over here, this is turning out so adorable. I love it. And then I'll go back through once I'm completely done. And I always make sure that it's like the very last thing that I do, because I tend to change my mind a lot when I'm making a wreath. I always cut my pipe cleaners the very, very end. I never do that until I'm like, okay, it's officially done and I'm ready to hang it. And then I cut it, because sometimes I'm like, oh wait, we can just go ahead and add. And I hate when I have to add more pipe cleaners to the frame if I've already cut them too early. So, all right, so here's what we've got. I'm going to just kind of pull it up. Again, the camera is not doing this justice. So we have the ribbon on here, super adorable. I love it. And again, I love how full this wreath is looking. And now we're going to get some wire because we're going to go ahead and attach our sign. And I just grabbed floral wire from the Dollar Tree. This is just some gold floral wire. And I have this sign with 4 holes. And like I said, with the Three Birds Nest coat, you can add your hole placement. You can do, if you want, just 2 holes up here, but I decided to go for 4. And they're tiny little holes. There we go. All right, this is gonna look perfect. I don't know if I'm gonna add anything else to it. All right. And see, we got this done pretty fast, about a half hour. Sometimes when I'm making a wreath, it can take me, well, it actually depends on like how complex it is, but sometimes it can take me like well over an hour to complete a wreath. So this one, 30 minutes, or I'm not done yet, right? But around this time to complete a wreath, I'm pretty happy with that time frame. All right, I'm just cutting off this little edge, just gonna wrap it around just a little bit more. I cannot wait to do a Day of the Dead wreath. I did a bunch of them last year and I have all of the material. I was just thinking that'll probably be our next wreath that we do. It's very colorful, and that's the one that I like to use a lot of like half rolls of mesh, like rolls of mesh that are like this, where you're just like, I don't know when I'm ever going to use it again. The Day of the Dead one, I use rolls like this because it's such a colorful wreath that you can blend so many different colors into it and use up some of the stuff that you just have lying around. So if you have mesh lying around, it's colorful, get ready and use it for Halloween too. Halloween, you can get real creative with the colors. So, all right, we got that one. And now we're ready to place this onto our wreath. All right, I'm just gonna look at it this way. I'm just gonna flip it over. Now, when I first place the sign on here, I do it really loose because I have to go back and forth and kind of like reposition it, and sometimes it's not centered, so I always do it really loose the first time around just because I know myself. So I don't encourage you to like wrap it a million times just in case you have to go back through and move it around. So I'm just wrapping it around the bars, and again, doing it very loose. Okay, I'm just trying to see how I did that one because I want them to be even. Alrighty, there we go. So let's see where that's at. So I have the 2 top ones through. I just want to see where this is going to be. Kind of move my sign around, and I have at times also pulled the sign way too tight to where it like, yeah. So lesson learned. And you can, if you want to, you can also, once you get done like attaching your sign like this, if you want, you can add like a little dab of glue right behind it and, you know, attach it to your mesh if you want to just kind of like really secure it on there. I have done that, especially if I know for a fact that it's going to be out in the weather, like not on a covered porch or anything, but like out, you know, right in the sun or rain or whatnot. I have secured the sign down with just a little bit of glue. All right, so we got this one, and then let's go ahead and get this one through. I think we're just about done. We're just going to end up having to cut the gold pipe cleaners. All right, and again, Just making sure that it's not too tight. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over. And again, this is just a loose kind of a, right here, like a little tie. And I'm happy with how it looks. Again, it's real, it is on there. It's nice and secure. It's not going anywhere, but see how it doesn't squish this down. And now you can just kind of maneuver this around. And you know what? I actually really like how this is gonna be. I don't want to add too much to it. Very simple. If I had cute little footballs, I would add them to here, but I don't. So yeah, that's the one thing that I'm like, ooh, that would be really, really cute on here. But now I'm just gonna officially tie it down. I do not want that little sign coming off. All right. And make sure that you tuck the wire back, because I mean, getting poked by that is not fun. And you don't want somebody who bought your wreath or who you gifted it to or for yourself. Man, that's pain right there. So, all right. And you can also leave a little bit of wire if you want to use to hang your wreath. All right, put that over. I'm going to tuck this back. All right, so there we go. And you'll have to probably rearrange your ribbon from time to time. So if you got it all perfect and then you move it and then it kind of moves on its own, you have to readjust it, don't worry. I also have like taken little dabs of glue and glue it down to my mesh just because I wanted it to stay absolutely perfect. There's no harm in that. So if something is not set, like it's just not working, it's not staying the way that you want to, don't be afraid to take a little bit of glue and just dab it to exactly where you want it. And you know, obviously it'll stay that way forever and nobody will be the wiser. It doesn't matter if you use a little bit of glue. I do it all the time. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of the gold pipe cleaner. And just so you guys know, I know a lot of people, you know, they're like, I was one of those people that was always worried about what color pipe cleaner I used when it came to wreath making. And it does matter to a point. You can also use zip ties if you want. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I can just make the pipe cleaner like a little bit of like an accent color. So don't be afraid if you don't have the exact color to match what mesh you're using. Have fun with it. It's not do or die if your pipe cleaners don't match your mesh. It could be like a little bit of a pop of color in your wreath. All right. I think I got most of it. And I did want to add some like little glitter balls on here, but I didn't heat up my glue gun. So it may be something that I add later on. Because I don't know if I'm going to keep this wreath or not. I always hate to part with them. I have such a collection in my garage, but sometimes I don't know. I just can't part with it. So, all right. Okay. So here is our welcome fall. I really wish I had a better camera. I really wish you could see exactly how adorable this is. The lighting in here is terrible. I already know that. But here is our fall wreath. Again, this is a 12-inch. So this is a 12-inch frame. And let's just see how big, if you use the 12-inch frame, how big the wreath will actually turn out. Because even though you have that small frame, it'll still be poofy. You can still get a nice size wreath. All right, so this is 12-inch frame. So it gives you about a 20-inch wreath. So this is about 20 inches in diameter. So still a nice wreath, still gonna look cute on your door. So what do you guys think? I love it. Super simple, very glittery. I will take a photo and post it on my social media. That'll be the real, like what it really looks like. So that is it for the wreath today. Like I said, we're going to be doing a Day of the Dead. I have the Day of the Dead decorations. Hey, Mary, how are you? Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. And just so you guys know, thank you. I'm going to show you guys what these like gold little decorative balls are, because I may add them, like I said, just in case you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. What if I want to add them? They're these. Thank you, Michelle. So these are the little, oh, thank you, Sarah. You can come down to the shop and see it in person. So these are the little decorative, so they're vase fillers. That's what they are. But you can add these. They have them in so many different colors. You can actually add them, because I'm like, man, I really want footballs, because there's a little football right there. I might go get some brown ones. I think they might have them in the craft section at the Dollar Tree. So I might add them just because, to give it a little bit more of a pop. I still love this wreath the way it is. But if you're looking for something like this, go to the party section for sure. And that's where you can find these. I have a bunch of colors. A friend gifted me a bunch of the colors. But here's what we got today. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, Day of the Dead. All of the decorations are coming from the dollar store. So if you want to head over to the dollar store, I don't know who is, oh my God, this is so bizarre. This person that's messaging. If you want to head to the dollar store, grab the decorations. Like I said, a lot of I'm trying to figure out how I can like get that off the screen. A lot of the rolls of mesh that I'm going to be using is leftover mesh. We're going to use 10-inch mesh, and I have a frame from the dollar store. So just in case you're curious and you want to grab some items so you can follow along, that's where I'm going to be heading. I do have some pieces already, but I'm off work tomorrow. So let's shoot for tomorrow. I'll have a different time just so more people can join in. It probably will be around 5 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll do a Day of the Dead. I love it because it's so colorful wreath. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 8 p.m. Eastern, and we'll make another wreath, and I promise we're gonna do a different method. I think we might do the curl method. So anyways, have a fabulous night, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.